Quirky Crafts and Collectables, a mini-me Pandora box, and we have another Quirky Crafts to show you for my wedding. Some plates and cutlery. So to help me, please welcome Miss Pandora Box herself.
Oh, chookers, and thank you, Mini-Me Pandora Box. And that's right, we're going to be showing you how to make some plates and cutlery and a bowl as well for the wedding. So, are you ready? Well, let's go. So here are the things that we'll be using. So we need some paper, some foil, scissors, and some glue, and also the top of a spice container. So this one here I pulled off, and as I removed it I cut that off here, and also a little lipstick balm or container or something like that that you put beads in, and some paint. So these are the things that we're going to be using to make some of our little plates, just like that. Now, when you saw our plates on the table, you saw these ones. These are already Barbie bowls and plates that I had, and I just decorated it, and I thought, well, you're going to need something too. So I thought, well, let's try and make some as well. And I thought we'll try and make some forks and knives as well. I haven't done this before, so we're going to try this and attempt to make some forks and knives for you, just for the aesthetic on the table. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just to give it an illusion that there is forks and knives and plates in that. Okay, so we're going to start with the plates first. So let me clear here and we'll get started. So I've got an A4 sheet, and I already had a little practice, as you can see. Now I folded this to about frame, so about 6 centimeters, and that just gives us a bit of room to do our stamp. Okay, now I'm folding it to give it a bit of thickness, because A4 can be a little bit flimsy. If you've got a little bit more card that's harder, that's thicker, that can work as well. Just had a little play with a ticket here, and it actually worked quite well. So I thought we'll use a double A4 page, and I'll just use some glue. We'll just glue this down, and this will give us a bit of a thickness to the plates as well. There we go. Put that away. Fold it over, and there we go. So this should give us 1, 2, 3, about 4 plates, hopefully. Okay, so that's our thickness, and that's nice thickness now. So we get our spice top, we place the bottom there, and this is going to work like a stamp, so just make sure your corners are all there, so we don't want any flat ends. You get your top, and just make sure that the top and the bottom match. Now give it a good squeeze like that. It is pretty secure. I know it's a bit creasy, but that's okay. When we release it, it's quite tight. We've got a really nice flat base, we've got a ridge, and then we can cut around the plate itself. So what I'm going to do is cut that out first. Just make sure you've got enough ridge there, just like that. Whoops, put it away. Okay, and then you can repeat. Might get 3. So, okay, so now we've got our square plate. If you want to keep them square, that's fine. If you want to round them off, and so you can just see that ridge there, and that's what we're going to follow. I'm going to do it by eye, just like that. Now I got this idea from another YouTuber. I can't remember who it was. I might say it was My Froggy Stuff. I watch her channel every episode, never miss one. So she's done a lot. And that's pretty much your plate. So if you get the original plate, it's not as deep as that, but it just gives you a nice plate on the table. You know, like a paper plate. And depending on how many settings you got on your table, you might have 2, you might have 4. It's up to you how many dolls you want on your table. The more the merrier. But if it's just 2, or just, you know, might be your mini-me doll and the partner or girlfriend or a boyfriend, and they can sit on the table as well, and they can just have two plates. That's it. Now that's all we need to do with that one. And for the smaller one, like the bowl, I thought this was quite good. It's a nice size. Once again, you put your bottom under your cap and just get them together, make sure that they're lined up, squeeze, and just be warned that it can break, so beware if you don't want to use that top. If it's a good one, see how it's squeezed it through? This is clear, so you can actually see the plate underneath. This is going to kind of work like a bowl, if that makes sense. Now, this is quite tight. Now, I did it too tight. Look at that. It ripped right through. So we don't want that. So let's try it again. I'll try it on this end. Push that down maybe. Hit the top. And squeeze. I think that should be enough. Yeah. This is going to give it a little bit more depth. Now, square it out. I went a bit too close to that edge, so that has to now be as far as I can go. But what we can do is, once we've cut this around, you can kind of bring it up a bit. Get your bowl again, or yeah, sorry, you get your top and you can push it through that way. This might create a bit of a depth into your bowl. See how that's happening now? Get your small one. And we need to cut off that excess too, because it's not perfectly round. I needed to go in a little bit more, as you can see I've missed that. That gives us more of a bowl. This is taking away those corners. I can just do it by eye. If you leave it a little bit longer, like on this side, it kind of creates more of a dip. And that kind of can sit. It's not the best, it's very squarish, it's not the nicest. But I did one earlier and it kind of worked out better. And it's just to give it an illusion that there is a plate and a bowl. There we go. So now you can see I've got some decoration on the plates. They've kind of worn off. It's not really much of a decoration, it's just a bit of a pattern really. So I've got some paint in my bowl. I've picked red in this case, and I'm going to get my little brush. Just a little bit on my brush there. And kind of like, if you want, it's totally up to you. You can do it on the edge there and just put a bit of colour, just for a bit of contrast. And it's just enough to give it a plate look. Just like that. Nice and easy. And see, now it gives it a bit of a nice effect. And then again with the bowl, you can just give it some texture there. Just little marks. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just so they're kind of like matching. A bit more. And that's it. Nice and easy. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Now, if you want that enamel look, you could also put some nail polish glaze on top of that as well. That will give that a nice finish. Other than that, you can just leave it like that. And look at that. it looks quite nice. Now, the next thing we're going to try and attempt is the forks and knives. Now, I haven't done any tests, so we're going to do this together. So are you ready? Okay, let's go. Now, in the last episode when we made our table, you saw I had some toilet rolls and I brought it back out again. I just thought this was quite strong as a cardboard. I've got some foil, and what I'm going to attempt to do is draw, maybe, let me give you an idea of size so you've got a reference. So I'll use this as a reference because I have it. So this is my knife, and the knife stands at 4 centimeters or 40 mil. Okay, so that's going to be our size. So let me mark something here at 40 mil. So I'll just draw a line there. So that's going to be our knife size. We also need a fork, and we also need a spoon. Now the spoon is a little bit smaller, so that's 3 centimeters. So, whoops, get that out of the way. We'll mark 3 centimeters. So these are our shapes. Okay, so if you don't have these at all, of course, because that's why we're doing these, just get a knife and fork out of your drawer and maybe just kind of draw your shapes. So it goes like that, and it's almost a fork there, a knife there. There you go. I'm happy with that. So you use your straight line, maybe go out that way a bit, and that is your knife. Your fork, you can do the same. You can go around, come in, come up, and go out again, like that. Now, if you want, you can fold it to get exactly the same, or you can do it by eye, like I'm doing. Okay, and then just square it off for now. Okay, and then the spoon, again, kind of round. Very, very simple. I hope you can see that. Very simple. Okay. So what we're going to do now is cut these out. Okay. And cut your knife out. There we go. Like I said, I haven't done this before, so this is all trial and error, because I am going to need a lot more forks and knives for the bridal party as well. So there's our shape of the knife. Now, before you do go any further, maybe you want to trace this so you've got them the same, and I might do that because I'm going to continue with this one just so I've got something. So I'll do that over here. So that's my shape. I'm really looking forward to getting your videos. Start editing these so you're at the wedding as well. Okay, so that's my knife and my fork. I'll leave a little bit more there. Like that. And so my fork. I'm still going to leave that there for now. And my spoon. Now both ends look quite the same, so I'm going to go thinner probably on this side. But we'll forget what side it is. There we go, so that's our spoon. So if we take these away like that. So we have our knife, our fork and our spoon. Nice and simple. They don't look like forks and knives at the moment. They're silvery. So this is where the foil comes in. So here's where my attempt's going to be making the forks and knives. So what I've done is cut a little bit of foil out. I'm going to put some glue on my knife like that, and probably on the back as well. Now here comes the fun part. We're going to get the foil get that shape and fold it over like that. And let's hope this works. Like I said, I'm doing this with you guys. Let's cut it out. Should wait till the glue sets, but hey, impatient me. You know, another easy way to cut this out. I'd love to share that with you, because your edge is going to be, you might need more glue, but just to give you an idea, but this is giving us the shape of the knife. Just fold that over like that. Kind of, you know, we've got a knife there. How's that look? Does that look like a knife? And when that's sitting on the table, you know, you won't even notice. Can you see that? Okay, now let's try the fork. Okay, again, cut out some foil. And as I mentioned before with our table, these are all things you should have at home. You don't need to go and buy anything at all. Now, one thing I did forget to do is put glue. Put a fair bit of glue on that so it sticks. So everything that we're using are things that we have at home. Oh, somebody's at the door. I think it's next door actually. So mold it around. Let that sit for a little bit. Let's do our spoon. Again, some foil, give you the picture. Get our spoon. Oh, glue first. Because I'm showing you, I'm just I'm excited. Okay, your foil. Oh, make sure it's the shiny part, not the matte part. Fold it around. Like that. I see both ends look the same, but I've got an idea. Okay, now let's go back to our fork and cut around that. Mold it around. That's a good thing about that's a good thing about the foil, that you can, you know, shape it. Now, what I'm going to do now is get my fork and I'm going to put some teeth in it, just like that. Does that work? I think so. And you kind of like bend it a bit, flip those down. Yeah, just make sure that glue is dry. You can kind of shape it to shape. Yeah, some of my foils come off, but just make sure it's dry really well. Yeah. Okay, that's our fork. It is a bit bigger than my original, so we can go a little bit smaller than that. Like I said, I'm doing this with you guys. I haven't done a test or anything, so but I think it works quite well. Okay, so our spoon is all molded in. Now get your brush, your paintbrush. Just kind of like do a ball shape there, just to give us a dip. And fold it down there. And there's our. Get all this away. There's our fork and knife and spoon. Yeah, this turned out a little bit bigger than normal. I think our knife turned out alright. What do you reckon? Yeah, the knife's alright. You can go a little bit smaller, so once you've got the shape, when you've drawn it, just have a few tests and see how they go. Spoon worked out good size. And see how it's got the dip in there. If you get a sponge, I don't have a sponge with me, but you can go into that and really give it a good dip, and maybe do the arms a little bit thinner. But looking at our prototypes, let's put that over here, that over there, and there you go. Now let's have a look what it looks like on the table. So here's our table set up for two. You might have them on the side, so when they're looking, they're actually looking at the bridal party that way, and you can sit that way. Now this is the original, of course, and this is what we made today. The hardest part probably will be the glass. Now I do remember my grandfather, he used to get a bit of foil, he would get a pencil, stick it in the foil and shape that like that, then twist this bottom part, and at the end he'd flatten that part there, and you kind of got like a glass. Yes, it's silver, it doesn't matter, I think it still looks fine, but you know, I can't really think of anything at the moment to make one of these unless you've got a resin and you know all that kind of stuff, or you might collect the you know, those balls with all shapes and stuff and like that, you know. So that's an idea if you can do that. So you wrap the foil. Let me just see if I can do that again for you. So you've got a bit of foil, just a bit of foil like that, and it's kind of like when we were young. And then he'd get his pencil and then he'd wrap it like that around, and then twist this bottom part and then take off the excess, and then he'd flatten, put his finger there and he'd flatten it. And this is what I kind of just remember, and I was only very, very young. I've got that stem a bit shorter, but then that's what happened. And then he would, you know, spend a bit of time shaping it and that. But look how easy that was. Stick your finger, your pencil there, and you've got a little glass, another little glass. Now I would suggest we glue tack these down to the table, or just so they don't fall over, because they're going to be light if you do knock it. And each photo frame that you do, you don't want it to look different, so just stick them to the table. But I think that looks, I don't know, attempt it, let me know how you go. Make sure you comment down below and tell me, yes, you're coming to the wedding, you're going to be needing the background, of course, so I'll have to send that to you, and the reception background, the ceremony background, and anything else you need. And that's all you'll need from me, because that way you'll have everything ready. And of course, when you do your table, you've just got something there. All right, let's see what this looks like set up, and the background for your forks and knives and plates. Make sure you comment, let me know how you're going. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss these tutorials for you, so you can follow. And of course, like, so I know you like what's happening. And please share, maybe somebody might like to come to the wedding as well. Well, until next time, I'm Pandora Box. Checkers! So all you've got to do to be part of this wedding is make sure you subscribe and make sure you watch these videos so you can be part of the wedding and reception.